every night, your brain quietly throws a party you weren't invited to. You lie down. You close your eyes. Your body goes still. And then, behind your eyelids, something genuinely strange happens. Your brain starts inventing entire worlds. People you've never met. Places that don't exist. Conversations you swear you remember. And here's the wild part. You believe all of it. Not watch it, believe it, in real time as if it were happening. So the better question isn't what you dream about. It's this: why does your brain spend a third of your life doting fake realities you forget by breakfast? Because dreaming, it turns out, is one of the weirdest things your body does on a regular schedule. Right now, as you're watching this, your brain is using about as much energy as a dim light bulb. Most of the time, it's reacting to the outside world, light, sound, the feeling of your phone in your hand. But at night, the outside world gets cut off. Your eyes shut, your muscles relax, and your senses dial down to almost nothing. And instead of going quiet, your brain does something almost suspicious. It lights back up. In a stage called REM sleep, short for rapid eye movement, your brain becomes nearly as active as when you're awake. Your eyes flick back and forth under your eyelids like you're watching something real. Meanwhile, the rest of your body is paralyzed. Yes, paralyzed, on purpose. There's a tiny region in your brainstem that essentially flips a switch and disconnects your muscles, so you don't act out whatever your brain is busy inventing. Which is a good thing, because what your brain is inventing is often absurd. You're late for a test. You're flying. You're talking to someone who died years ago. Your teeth fall out. You're back in a house you haven't lived in for a decade. And in the moment, none of it feels weird. That's maybe the strangest part of dreaming. While it's happening, your brain quietly turns off the part of you that says, wait, this doesn't make sense. The prefrontal cortex, the cool, logical, fact-checking front of your brain, goes much quieter during REM sleep. Meanwhile, the regions tied to emotion, memory, and vision get louder. So you get vivid feelings, vivid images, and almost no quality control. That's why dreams feel real until you wake up. And it's why, the second you open your eyes, the whole thing starts dissolving like steam. But none of this explains the big question. Why does your brain bother? Building entire fake worlds every night is not free. Your brain is the most energy-hungry organ you have. It would be much more efficient to just switch off. And yet evolution kept dreaming. Not just in humans, in dogs, cats, rats, birds, even octopuses. Anything with a complex enough brain seems to do some version of it. Which strongly suggests dreaming is doing something important. Scientists just haven't fully agreed on what. So here's where it gets interesting. There are a few leading ideas, and the honest truth is your brain is probably doing several of them at once. The first is memory. While you sleep, your brain seems to replay pieces of your day at high speed, but hippocampus, the little seahorse-shaped structure tucked deep in your brain, basically reruns recent experiences and helps shuffle them into long-term storage. Think of it like your brain sorting through a messy desk after closing time. Some files get saved, some get tossed. Some get cross-referenced with old memories you didn't know were related. That's one reason a frustrating problem can feel clearer in the morning. Your brain literally worked on it while you slept. But here's the strange part. Your brain doesn't replay your day like a recording. It remixes it. You'll dream about your coworker, but the room is your childhood bedroom. You'll dream about driving, but the car is a boat. Your brain is stitching pieces together, testing connections, looking for patterns. Which leads to the second idea. Dreams might be your brain's overnight problem solver. When you're awake, your thinking is narrow and focused. There are deadlines, there's noise, there's a phone buzzing every few minutes. When you're dreaming, all those constraints fall away, logic loosens, categories blur. Your brain is free to mash unrelated ideas together and see what happens. Some of history's most famous aha moments reportedly arrived in dreams or in that hazy half-sleep just before them. Whether or not every story is exactly true, the underlying science is real. Sleep, and especially REM sleep, helps with creative connections in ways pure wakefulness doesn't. Your brain is basically running simulations in a sandbox with no consequences. And here's where it gets weirder. A lot of those simulations are scary. Take a moment and think about it. When was your last truly peaceful, boring dream? Most people can't remember one. Dreams tend to lean strange, embarrassing, anxious, or outright frightening, way more than your actual day-to-day life does. That's not a bug. That might be a feature. One leading theory is called the threat simulation idea. The thinking goes that dreaming evolved partly as a kind of nighttime rehearsal, a safe space for your brain to practice handling danger, conflict, social rejection, or losing control. You can't outrun the thing chasing you in the dream, but your body can practice the fear. Your heart can race, your stress system can fire, your brain can run the scenario, all without the actual risk. By morning, you've quietly drilled emotional fire drills your waking life would rarely give you. Quick pause. I'm genuinely curious about this one. What's a dream you've had more than once? The recurring kind that keeps showing up in different costumes. Drop it in the comments, I read them, and the patterns across people are fascinating. Then come back, because the next part is the one that really makes you rethink your own mind. Okay, so your brain might be sorting memories, solving problems, and rehearsing threats. But there's another theory, and it's almost philosophical. Dreams might be how your brain stays itself. Think about what sleep actually is. For hours, your senses are cut off. No input, no light, no sound, no touch, no taste, just darkness. For our brain built to constantly process the outside world, that's a long time to sit in silence. So one idea is that your brain generates its own input. It fires up the visual system, the emotional system, the memory system, and feeds itself a movie just to keep all those circuits warm and working. In other words, dreaming might be the brain's way of keeping the lights on inside the house while the outside world is shut down. There's even a more recent twist on this, sometimes called the defensive activation theory. It suggests that the visual part of your brain, in particular, dreams so vividly because if it didn't get stimulation overnight, neighboring brain regions might start to take it over. Use it or lose it, basically. Your brain throws on a light show to defend its own territory while you sleep. It's still a debated idea, but it fits with something we already know. Babies dream more than anyone. Newborns spend a huge chunk of their sleep in REM, way more than adults. Their brains are wiring themselves at a furious pace, and that nightly activity seems to be part of how the visual and emotional circuits get built in the first place. Which means dreaming may have started long ago as a kind of brain builder. And it never really left. Now here's the part that makes the whole thing feel almost personal. Even though dreams feel cinematic, you forget almost all of them. Within minutes of waking, most of the night dissolves. You might catch one fragment, a face, a hallway, a feeling, and the rest is gone. That's not because the dreams weren't vivid. It's because the parts of your brain that turn experiences into memories work very differently during REM. Your brain isn't trying to save the dream. It's using the dream. So somewhere in the past few nights, you almost certainly had a full, emotional, visually rich story playing in your head. Characters, plot twists, real feelings, and you have absolutely no memory of it. Think about that for a second. You lived through something, and you'll never know it happened. Your brain is keeping secrets from you, nightly. And yet, the next morning, you wake up a little calmer, a little clearer, a little better at the problem you were stuck on. Your memories settle. Your mood resets. Your sense of self stays intact. You don't notice the work. You just notice that you feel like you again. That might be the quietest superpower your body has. Every single night, without your permission, your brain stages a private theater of nonsense and fear and memory and imagination, and somehow you wake up more whole than you went to sleep. So tonight, when your head hits the pillow and the world starts to fade, remember this: your body is about to go still. Your senses are about to switch off. And inside your skull, something ancient and weird and beautifully useful is about to start. A brain, alone in the dark, telling itself stories. The next time you wake up halfway remembering a dream, the one where you were flying, or late, or somewhere you haven't been in years, you'll know it wasn't random. It was your mind doing maintenance in the only language it knows: pictures, feelings, and the wildest, most personal movie you'll ever watch. If your brain just got a little more interesting to you, hit like. It genuinely helps Bodyquirk reach more curious people. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, because next time we're tackling another quirk hiding in your body right now. and tell me in the comments, do you usually remember your dreams, or do they vanish the second you open your eyes? I want to know which kind of dreamer you are. Sweet dreams, or weird ones. Either way, your brain is doing exactly what it's supposed to.